Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3D Models, and this is where we left it off. Alright, so now let's make some actual posts. So we can actually put these as well, wooden supports. We can put them in here, I think. We'll just call them large wooden supports or something like that. But let's actually make the sizing of what we want first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to press Shift S, cursor selected just to give me a starting point. Shift A, and let's bring in a cube. And then what I'm going to do is make the cube a little bit smaller. And I just want to make sure, first of all, that it's going to line up okay. So we can see if I put my cube in here, how thick is this going to be? It has to be relatively thick, obviously, because it's carrying a lot of weight on there. So I'm just going to put it in, making sure that it's fitting in nicely. I think then I'm going to make it a little bit thinner because we do have a post at the bottom. So something like this. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag this down all the way down like so, down to the floor. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press Ctrl R, bring in one edge loop to where I want the actual support to come to. So something like that. I'm going to also turn off X-ray. I don't really need that on. Come to face select. We're going to grab this face, Alt, Shift and click so it goes all the way around this way. We're going to press E, Enter. And then you're going to press not S, Alt S. And what Alt S is going to do is going to bring it out nice and even. You can even put offset even as well. And then you'll end up with something like this, where it's really, really nice and flat. Now, if I showed you the other way, instead of doing that and just press S, you can see this is what happens. Alt S, though, brings it out really, really nice and even. And then what you can do is when you put offset even on, Alt S again, make it a little bit thinner if you want to do that. And there we go. Now let's come in and make these a little bit more uneven. So Ctrl R, bring in some edge loops, left click, right click. And then what we'll do now is we'll split this away from this block. And the reason I want to do that is because I want this to be a little bit more uneven than this. So what I'm going to do is Alt, Shift and click going all the way around, right click, marks seam. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into face select and grab just this island because I've marked a seam. The reason I'm grabbing in face select, if I grab in edge select, it's going to grab it all. If I grab in face select though, it's going to grab only up to the island which is split by our seam. Now I can just press Y and now I can press G and that is split away from there. Now if I press Shift H just to hide that part out of the way, I'm going to put a bottom on here. So I'm just going to grab this one, F. Then I'm going to press Alt H. And instead, I'm just going to press on this now. So I'm going to grab this one, H for hide. And then what I'm going to do now is I just want to put a proper face on here. Grabbing all of these, delete, faces. And then let's give it a proper face like so, F. And now we're ready to actually change this part of the mesh. So I'm just going to make sure I've got only this one selected. And then I'm going to go to modeling. Not modeling, sorry. Not going to go. Well, I can be in modeling. Doesn't make any difference, but I want to be on mesh, transform, and randomize like so. And actually, that's not really randomized much, but it has randomized enough that I think I would be able to use it. Now, before I do that, actually, I'm just going to press Ctrl Z. And now I've got this. What I'm going to do is, instead is I'm going to press Shift D, and I'm going to move it over. And I can see as well that actually I need to press Ctrl A, all transforms, right click, so origin to geometry. Now where do I want this? I actually want this probably somewhere around here. And then I probably want the next one going to be right just near the end. So somewhere around there. And then this one I want to be around there. So like that. So we've got a bigger gap here and a smaller gap here. That's what we're actually looking for. Now let's think about actually doing these all at the same time. So I'm going to grab all of these, join them all together. So Ctrl J. Let's put it on object mode because I'll really be able to get an idea then of what this actually looks like. And then what we'll do is we'll press tab. We'll grab all of these. So if they're not grabbed, just grab them all in face select and then mesh, transform, randomize, bring them down to what we want them. So it's probably on these going to be 0.01 like so. And now we'll do these other parts as well. So I'm going to grab these. I'm going to come to mesh, transform, randomize, and bring them down. I feel like if If I did them all together, it probably won't work out so well. So that's why I've done it like that. All right, so the next thing now I want to do, now I've got these, is right click, shade, auto smooth, just to get rid of all that lumpiness. And then what I want to do is come in, add modifier, generate, and bevel, and then turn it all the way down, turn it up 1. And let's make sure I'm actually happy with how that looks. And I think I am. Now the one thing is, I want to actually change these a little bit. So I'm going to come in, grab this one for instance, and just pull it up a little bit, grab this one, and let's rotate it on the X just a little bit like so, just making them look a little bit different as you can see. Yeah, and I think I'm happy with those. Now we want to put some supports going in this way and this way, but I don't think that we want to do that and save them in the asset manager. I think these supports should be on their own. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I do that, obviously, I want to bring in some materials. So I'm going to put on shader again. I'm going to grab this one here, press Ctrl L, link materials. And now let's come in, grab all of these, not this one, sorry, just these three, like so. Press tab, U, Smart UV project, click OK. And now what we'll do is we'll come just to these wooden bits. So L, L, and L. Material, main wood, assign. And there we go. Now we can see they all look different. Fitting in with there. Stone looks good. Everything looks fantastic. Okay. Control. Now let's split them up first of all. So we'll come in. And we'll split these up. So I'm going to press P, selection. Next one, L, L, P, selection, like so. All right, now they're all split up. We just need to reset the transformation. So Control A, all transforms, right click, to origin, to geometry. And now we actually have a choice to make. We can, we need to move these over there, put them in our asset manager, and then bring them back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them. Yeah, I'm going to pull them over there and just restack them. It's not going to take much time. So RZ 90, I want to spin them all around. So I'm going to put on medium point. RZ 90. Let's get them closer together then, like so. Let's grab all of them, press in 1 on the number pad. And then what I'll do is I'll just call them, yeah, I can't call them the same thing altogether. So we'll call them large supports, post, space, copy, back 1. And then we'll do the same on this one. We'll call it 2, of course. And then the same on this one. Like so. All right, now we'll grab all 3 of these. We'll right click and we'll mark as asset. And then what we'll do is we'll now go to our asset manager. We'll come to unassigned. And what we're going to do is then drop these in. So I'm going to drop these into wooden supports. Like so. And there they are. Okay, so now we can bring them in. So let's bring in this one. Let's bring in this one. And let's bring in this one. Let's press 3. And now what we'll do is we'll get them lined up. So I want this one to be there. I want this one to be there like so. And finally I want this one to be on the inside. I think actually whether I want this one this way or I think I'm going to just move it there because I think it looks a little bit better for the support like so. All right, now let's move them back into place like so. And now let's think about creating the other support. So in other words, we want some piece of wood coming this way as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this one, Shift S, cursor selected. Now anything like this, actually, rather than creating a new piece of wood, let's not do that. Let's just use the blocks that we've already got. We might as well use these. So if I bring this in here and then R, Z 90, maybe that one's a little bit too big. So let's come in with, let's have a look at the 1 meter one. Yeah, that one's too small. So we've got 2.5. Let's have a look at that. No, not that one. We want 2 meters or 1.5. Let's try that one. R, Z, 90. Let's see if I can actually get that in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press 3. I'm going to press R and X, rotate it round. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fit this into place where I want it. So we can see it's nearly in place. Like so. Making sure that there's a gap each side of there. Making sure also that that's not poking out the end. We don't want it poking out the top of there. So let's pull it down. like so. Let's pull it back a little bit. I think that's actually perfect. Don't worry about this gap on the on this side. Now let's press 3. Let's press Shift D, bring it over, and then R, Z, 180. Spin it round. Get this one in place as well. We know we've got it the right height now. Okay. And then what we'll do is we will bring it. Yeah, we need it going up here to this part. So Shift D, and then RZ, 180. Spin it round, making sure that we go in from here. So making sure these kind of line up like so. And then this one's going to be a short one. So Shift D, and then RZ, 180, spin it round like so. And you can see we've got a nice short one there. And all of those are lining up pretty nice. All right, so what we'll do then on the next lesson is we'll tidy all these up, of course. And I'm thinking that we'll cut these little parts off. And then what we can do is we can start actually adding the other little pieces of wood on here. And yeah, then we can probably move back round to the front on here and finish the window. We might even start the window on the next lesson. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.